Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios in West Des Moines, this is Iowa Live.
Welcome back to the program, everyone. We have Megan Benzing joining us right now from the Alzheimer's Association, the program manager, to continue our conversation that we just had with Concept by Iowa Hearing. First of all, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, we're talking about some numbers that were recently released that are actually staggering.
Yes.
When it comes to certain aspects of mental health. Tell everybody what we're talking about.
So across the nation, there are 6 million Americans 65 and up who are living with Alzheimer's disease. And then in Iowa, there are 66,000 people living with Alzheimer's disease.
Wow, and that number obviously continues to climb.
It's rising, yeah.
Every single day. What did that tell you when you first heard the 6 million person figure?
It was alarming, for sure. I mean, that, as you said, that number is continuing to rise, so it is absolutely crucial that we get early diagnosis and detection, possible treatments. You know, there are treatments in the pipeline right now, and we are very hopeful that those treatments are going to continue, so we can eventually find a cure for this disease.
Let's talk about what happens when the disease starts to progress and some of the brain functions that happen, that are ongoing. What's happening here?
So people are going to see that decline in their memory, their thinking, their behaviors. They're going to start in that early disease. They might have, you know, issues with loss of time. They might not maybe remember certain loved ones. You know, they're going to have an issue with remembering where they're at or things along those lines. So it's going to progress, and they're going to get into those late stages, which is going to cause them to lose ability of function overall. You know, eating is going to become difficult for them, swallowing, so that's when it becomes most critical.
Right, and that's one thing we want to make sure that we do point out. If somebody is not, they're not able to recall someone's name or recognize somebody, that's nothing personal. That's nothing that's going on against the other person. I want to make sure that we're making that very aware.
Yes, yes. Make that very clear that it has nothing to do with the person. It is not. It's not personal. It is strictly the disease. They're reacting due to what this disease is causing them to do. What's causing, you know, their brain to act out, so to speak.
And it's going to slow the people down that are affected by this condition, and you might have a chance to have them be able to be with other people that have this condition going on. Is that comforting for the person going through this if they're surrounded by other people that have this disease?
Absolutely, yeah, and that's why we have some amazing resources online. That's why we have in-person support groups that can help to get them around people who are going through this similar situation, where they can get support, where they can get resources, and just know that they're not alone.
Yes, and you can see it's keeping the brain active and being with others that are experiencing the same thing, so very important. But it's also very important to talk with doctors, is what you said.
Absolutely. Your primary care physician is going to be the first person that you go to when you are starting to experience any changes in behavior. But unfortunately, when they're starting to experience any sort of cognitive changes, they normally think it's just normal aging. They think it's normal, and so they hesitate to discuss this, and doctors are usually, they're not the first ones to ask them if they are experiencing these changes, so they don't get that early detection, that diagnosis. They don't get access to.
So this really means you need to sit down with your physician and explain what's going on. If it's not for you, then it'd be with the significant other that you happen to be with, or maybe another family member.
Yeah, speak to any family members. Let as many people know about this disease that you can. The more people you have rallying behind you, the quicker access you're going to get to any potential benefits.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around the 6 million people affected by this here in the U.S. That's amazing, and then almost 70,000 in the state of Iowa, approaching that number right now. Now, there are plenty of resources out there too that the Alzheimer's Association of Iowa, they can really help with, right?
Absolutely. So they can visit our website at alz.org/Iowa, or they can call our 24/7 helpline at 1-800-272-3900 and speak to Alzheimer's Association Masters level counselors, help to just get emotional support, crisis assistance, resource identification, or just general disease information.
Megan Benzing, thank you so much for sharing that information with us, folks. If you have something going on, please see your physician. That was the bottom line here, and see what they can do. Well, okay, thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll be back tomorrow. This is Iowa Live.